Hi, Mark Medina with the LA Times, presenting to you a post-game wrap-up here at Staples Center. Lakers just took it to the Denver Nuggets, 102-95. It's an exhibition game, so the result really doesn't matter. But there is a few things to take away from this contest. First, Kobe Bryant had 18 points, 5 of 13 shooting, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. The stat line really doesn't matter. Yes, his shooting did improve. What matters is how well he moved on the floor. He looked very quick and comfortable out there after struggling most of this preseason in terms of just rehabbing from his surgically repaired right knee. But this is kind of how the progression plays out. He felt satisfied with how he played. Phil Jackson, after the game, mentioned that he thinks that he'll probably play around that 24-minute range again against the Jazz on Sunday, which is the same amount of minutes he played against Denver. So it'll be interesting to see how much he can sustain that type of energy level on a back-to-back. Second is the ball movement. You had 4 players in Pau Gasol, Lamar Odom, Shannon Brown, and Devin Ebanks crack double figures. He had Ron Artest making some hockey assists. Matt Barnes really getting involved with the offense there. And I think you have to take it for what it's worth. It's a preseason game. You're going to see glimpses of the chemistry working and glimpses of, sometimes it not working as best as it could. But I think this is really a reflection of the Lakers' experience. They have, that core back that they're mostly used to playing with. But it looks like the new guys in Barnes and Steve Blake, Derek Carricker, Devin Ebanks, and Theo Ratliff, even if there is a little bit of a learning curve and some individual adjustments they need to make, it seems like overall that they definitely are grasping the concepts. And one of those newcomers, Devin Ebanks, he had 14 points. Phil Jackson has been very impressed with how he's been in training camp. He said as recently as last week that he liked how he played defensively, but offensively he thinks that there was still a little bit of a learning curve in terms of knowing the triangle offense, mastering his footwork, and I think you saw an improvement in that respect from Devin. And this is something where Devin wasn't aware of it, but Phil was planning to give him some increased run this weekend because Sasha Vujacic is scheduled to be out. He missed tonight's game, and he's going to miss the game against Utah on Sunday because he suffered a concussion during Thursday's practice where Lamar Odom accidentally elbowed him. So he's going to be out. Phil planned to play him a little bit at shooting guard behind Shannon Brown. He wound up actually playing at the 3 spot. But it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Sasha Vujacic, he has a marginal statistical impact. But in terms of the rotation, it really might be interesting to see if Devin can take advantage of this opportunity and how really that might affect Sasha's playing time later on. And the fourth thing that I think you take away from this is the blown leads. It looks like that the Lakers are still a little bit struggling defensively. They allowed Denver to creep back into the game in the fourth quarter, and that's something that irritated Phil Jackson in the game against Sacramento, where it looked like they were going to put him away, but the Kings managed to cut the deficit. Now the result doesn't matter, but Phil, I think, has mentioned that it's kind of a reflection of the team, particularly the bench, still trying to hone in those defensive concepts. He's had to stop practice a few times this week to just go over everything. So I think it's a reflection of that and what they need to work on. Lastly, the starters' minutes, they're all huge. You look at the stat sheet, Kobe Bryant played 24 minutes, Ron Artest 24. Lamar Odom led the team with 31. Derek Fisher had 23 minutes, Pau Gasol had 21. That was a plan going into this game. Phil Jackson was planning to play his starters a lot of heavy minutes and maybe reduce it a little bit on the back-to-back. But it seems like that's going to be the exception to Kobe because Phil wants to see how much he can sustain it and how much he can respond to it.